It's been just over a month since I've had my iPhone 17 Pro Max at home, so it's time to show you my current top 3 favorite cases, why I like them, why you might or might not want to buy them, and in the comments let me know which case are you using right now. So let's go! I'll start with the biggest classic, the Apple silicone case. For me, it's a no-brainer. It feels great in the hand, works as it should, isn't too bulky, but still offers decent protection. I've got it here in this blue color, and together with the silver iPhone, it looks really nice. Now, starting from the inside, it's beautifully soft, so it keeps this year's aluminum frame perfectly safe from scratches. The buttons are part of the case itself, so they're silicone too, but still super clicky, easy to press and easy to feel. The whole case is silicone, so there's nothing else to talk about here, but I have to say, maybe it's the color, maybe they just improved the material, but it doesn't attract as much dust as in previous years. Fingerprint magnet though? Definitely. My case is totally smudged from usage. At the bottom, you've got the cutouts for everything you need, speaker, mic, USB-C port, and this year, 2 mounts for the new Apple strap. I don't use the straps, and honestly, I prefer the sides to be closed off, but it is what it is. Front protection combined with a screen protector is pretty minimal since the lip barely sticks out and the silicone is soft, so I wouldn't rely on it for face down drops. On the side, we've got the camera control button built right into the case, which works as it should. Camera protection is there and it's decent, but I wouldn't mind if that camera ring was just a bit taller. I'd also appreciate if a larger portion of that area was covered, but hey, that probably wouldn't fit Apple's design philosophy. As for the fit, it's absolutely spot on. The phone clicks right in and won't come out easily at all. MagSafe support, of course, works perfectly. It's an Apple case after all. The magnet, however, isn't the strongest, but more than fine for daily use and even holds well on a strong car mount. This year, I actually prefer it over the tech woven case I tried because it just feels better in the hand. The price, which is 59 euros here, is ridiculous, but despite the crazy price tag, the case still manages to win me over every year. Now let's check out something a bit more protective, because the second contender in today's video is the benksarmorpro. I mentioned it last year and since then nothing's changed. It's still one of my favorites. But let's start with the negatives. Unfortunately, the inside still doesn't have a soft lining. It's a shame because with that one upgrade this case would be nearly perfect. Anyway, we've got a combo of rubber and aramid here with several styles available. I like this particular one, so that's the one I was using. In the hand, it feels smooth, maybe a little slippery if you're switching from silicone, but I feel like the grip improves with use. The buttons are metal, feel premium, click nicely and don't rattle. This time there are no Apple strap mounts on the bottom, but the cutouts for everything else are spot on, just like on the original Apple case. Front protection is solid, the lip is noticeably higher, even with the screen protector, so I'd be less worried about front side drops. Same goes for the back. The camera ring is tall enough that it could probably handle another set of lenses. The Plado cutout though stays the same as on the original, so the design remains clean, but there's no extra bonus protection. And of course, the camera control has its own button that works flawlessly, and the overall fit is great. Although I have to say that last year's version was slightly tighter, so Benks, take notes. Another important feature are MagSafe magnets, which here are strong, definitely stronger than Apple's own case. However, apparently I have a thing for fingerprint magnets because the Armor Pro gets covered in smudges just as fast as the Apple silicone. Price-wise, we're looking at roughly half of Apple's, around 35 euros, even though with a discount code it's under 30, which for a semi-tough, great-looking, well-made case is seriously a steal. But now, if none of the mentioned cases were for you and you're primarily looking for something minimalistic, I've got one for you too, the ultraslimpitaka. This case is the definition of protection from scratches while keeping the naked phone feel. The material is smooth aramid, basically weightless, and this year it even got its own camera control button, which means one less hole in the case. It fits the phone like a glove and honestly feels like you're holding nothing. However, there are cutouts for the side buttons instead of separate ones, fortunately, with the top and bottom beautifully covered, and precise openings for the speaker, mic and USB-C port. Protection? Minimal, of course. The front lip is almost non-existent, the sides are open in some spots, and the camera ring is just tall enough to prevent scratches but doesn't stick out awkwardly. Being aramid, it's definitely a fingerprint magnet too, but despite its thinness, the MagSafe magnets are surprisingly strong. All the accessories work flawlessly. This Pitaka case is a pure style case. It's thin, it's light, it's sleek, and maybe a tiny bit protective. This is the case you buy when you know your phone's not going to drop. And with it costing over 50 euros, you better be praying it doesn't drop. So yeah, this was my top 3 lineup for this year. I'll definitely be sticking with these top 3 for a while, but if anything interesting pops up, we can maybe do another video too. However, in the meantime, drop a comment down below with your favorite case. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Here you can also check out other videos, and I'll see you again next Friday. Bye!